I've been working in conservation for the last 10 years, and usually in conservation what you're doing is trying to hold on to the last little fragments of life that we have on this planet, and conservationists have been working seriously hard at this for a long time now. What we are trying to achieve at Nattergal, the whole rewilding movement, is going, okay, thank you, conservationists, keep hold of those hotspots, we need them. Meanwhile, let's go back to the degraded landscapes, let's go back to the ecosystems that have collapsed and restore and rewild those systems, so bring back biodiversity.
We're facing a twin biodiversity and climate crisis. And I think for many years there's been sort of arguments over this, lack of evidence, but we're now in a position globally that there's no denying that these crises are happening. We've got this twin crisis and we just need to do something really tangible about it, which is very much when Nattergal was born.
Nattergal was necessary because nature needs restoration. I think the facts there are proven. And there was a lack of viable existing business models to achieve that at landscape scale.
We need to work out how to find huge sums of money, not just to stop biodiversity decline, but to start reversing it as well. And that's not going to be all from the state, and it's not all going to be from philanthropists. It needs to come from the private sector. So Nattergal, Charlie Burrell, the owner of NEP, and Jeremy Leggett, the owner of Highlands Rewilding, they thought, how can we set up a company to bring in major investment that will make a difference to this biodiversity crisis?
And so by getting people to invest financially in nature in the way that they might oil or tech is a way in which we can really scale up. So it's founded with this idea of providing sustainable financial returns to anyone that would want to just invest money. And the way in which we're doing that is very site-based. So we're purchasing land and then we work with the best financial mechanisms that are specific to that land. So it's always got that local context.
Each of those sites then operate as their own entity. They have their own character, their own mission. And so Nattergal is the umbrella organisation at the top, thinking about these structures, these business models, whereas on the ground level, on the site level, we're here to deliver the biodiversity, to deliver the nature recovery, the stuff that really matters. What we're trying to capitalise on and create a market for is the ecosystem services that nature provides. So if you take Boothby as an example where we're sitting right now, it has a very low stock of natural capital. The soils are degraded, the biodiversity is relatively low, the carbon in the soils is relatively low. And through our restoration work, through the rewilding programme, we expect all those things to lift. We want to see biodiversity flood back. We want to see carbon sequestered. We want to see the water getting cleaned up and filtered and slowed down through this system.
What I found personally has been super special about being part of the Nattergal team is that we're all part of the decision making. It's real sort of co-design and bringing everyone's experience of other organisations, maybe that's charities, maybe that's business, maybe that's government. And because we've taken that time early on as a small team in Nattergal, we've embedded that culture, embedded those behaviours, we've all been part of making that. I can see that as the team expands, which it will and it needs to, then we'll all be very much singing from the same song book, and I think that's really important, and it's also just been really lovely to be part of an organisation like that.
People ask me what's the ambition for Nattergal, and the way I look at it is over the next 3 to 5 years, our goal would be to grow from the couple of sites we have today and the couple of sites we're actively working on to having somewhere between 20 to 30 sites spread all across Europe. At that scale, the impact we will be having will be large enough and noticeable enough that we hope we will encourage many others to join the revolution and join the mission of restoring nature.